Hello everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. Not long ago I did a video on underwire bras not causing breast cancer, and of course a comment on this video literally quoted Goop research at me as alleged proof that, underwire bras do cause breast cancer. After I stopped laughing at this ridiculousness and basically commented back that actually science had debunked all of this hokum research, it inspired this video on why people believe conspiracy theories in spite of often considerable evidence to the contrary. Also, while I was writing this, I received a Twitter comment on a completely unrelated tweet that I did, stating that Dr. Jen Gunter, an OBGYN, lies and that this Twitter user follows Goop. I mean, please do not at me with your stupidity. At this point, people's abject need to believe lies over medicine and science is becoming really ludicrous. It is becoming terrifyingly unfunny that conspiracy theories are ingrained so hard. There are many conspiracy theories out there. Anti-vaxxers claim that vaccines cause autism from a thoroughly now disproven and debunked study. That obviously breast cancer is caused by bras restricting the lymphatic system, said no study ever. The moon landing, or said has no proof ever. The moon landing didn't happen, of course, that aliens have been hidden by the government. And while some of these conspiracy theories started out somewhere, and on occasion be presented as like rational thought, like a lot of the JFK conspiracy theories are rationalised by the fact that one man couldn't have shot him. So they're presented as rational thought and presented as a logical interpretation of evidence. However, most of the time this is wildly misinterpreted. The attractiveness of conspiracies is that they often support an already held belief, and as such information is found to support their own belief and any other information is discounted as being part of the wider conspiracy. Basically, you gravitate to information you already believe, and you don't acknowledge the bias of your own information but point out the bias of the other side readily. Take measles, for example. In 1963, when a viable vaccine was introduced, measles was a deadly disease. There were literally millions of cases and hundreds of deaths publicly accessible. This is publicly accessible information, by the way. Since the rise of the vaccine, this reduced the death rate to practically nil. However, since the anti-vax movement, measles is again making a resurgence. In 2017 in Minnesota, had the largest outbreak in over 30 years of over 58 cases. In 2018, California's outbreak was tracked back to a 7-year-old unvaccinated child, meaning that a disease that kills children and one that was once largely considered eradicated has been allowed to rise due to the rise in conspiracy theories surrounding vaccinations. In Australia, the story is startlingly similar in that 23 deaths between 2005 and 2014 from diseases that are literally prevented by a vaccine have occurred. Psychological studies have indicated that belief in conspiracy theories allow the individual to have a narcissistic self-view of uniqueness and access to the truth, or that they alone are capable of understanding the secret or believe that they're the expert where others fail. Other psychological explanations include disliking randomness, or that it is more likely a secret group of powerful people are controlling all of the world events rather than just a random confluence of events. They also refuse to change their beliefs on evidence presence. on evidence that is presented. So in the scientific community, you can be disproven, and new evidence that comes to light can actually disprove widely held theories that are currently in existence. Like recently I saw new evidence that have come out. I haven't actually looked into it too deeply at the moment, but recently I saw scientific journals reporting that Einstein's theory of relativity may not be what we think it is, and actually may be incorrect. So that is a widely held belief system. A lot of science is based on Einstein's theory of relativity, and now there is new evidence to suggest that, that this may not be as accurate as what we once thought. You can disprove things in science, or you can go down other ways, whereas in conspiracy theories you can't. Everything just adds on to it. It doesn't help that the government hasn't always been truthful or reliable in and of itself. So the truth, just like in the case with the delusional commenter and the delusional tweeter, do not seem to help. Accurate, scientifically proven facts that, as I mentioned, can actually change, can often make the reverse happen and the belief stronger. That the scientific facts are part of the conspiracy to test them out. In the time of online content and social media, researchers often found that people siloed themselves inside their own belief systems, or in fact that there is little or no overlap between scientific news, studies, studies and research, and conspiracy theories. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, all of your news is conspiracy theories. If you are like in the science, most of the information you get is, you try and validate the fact. Part of this is also often deciding if a source is reliable and trustworthy or not. And often these two sides, conspiracy believers and non-conspiracy believers, trust entirely separate news sources and actually don't trust each other's. The internet and online media reinforces views and can connect you with others that hold the same belief systems. If you are anti or pro-vaccination, there are multiple groups on either side, and it creates reaffirmation of your decisions, especially with such a wildly contentious issue. I'm going to link below some of the articles I use for this video, and you should always query all of your sources, whether you are using them to prove or disprove your argument. And please do not quote already disproven studies at me. And most particularly, never quote Goop, because I could just simply never take you seriously again. There are reputable sources and scientists out there that are either not government funded and not conspiracy theorist funded either, and can look at research and scientific evidence without necessarily any suspicious agenda. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your morning, evening or afternoon, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye everybody.